Hello, and a very warm welcome. My name is Rowan Michael, and you've joined us for what promises to be a fascinating trip down memory lane. Welcome to our countdown of all the Champions League winners. This isn't just about listing names, it's about reliving the moments of glory, the unbelievable drama, and the sheer footballing brilliance that has defined Europe's most prestigious club competition. The Champions League, and its predecessor the European Cup, has given us some of the most iconic images and unforgettable nights in the history of the sport, a true test of champions. We'll be traversing the decades, looking at the teams that have etched their names onto that famous trophy, the one with the big ears that every player dreams of lifting. From the early days to the modern era, let's take a look at the teams that have lifted the prestigious trophy. We'll explore the dynasties, the surprise victors, the tactical masterclasses, and the individual heroics that have shaped the narrative of this incredible tournament. It's a story of passion, dedication, and the pursuit of ultimate European glory, a competition that brings together the very best from across the continent. So sit back, relax, and get ready to immerse yourselves in the rich tapestry of Champions League history. We'll be highlighting some of the most dominant forces, the teams that have not just won, but have left an indelible mark on the competition with their style, their stars, and their stories. From the pioneering sides that first conquered Europe to the modern mega clubs, it's a celebration of footballing excellence. Let's get started on this epic journey. When you talk about the Champions League, or the European Cup as it was originally known, one name invariably springs to mind first: Real Madrid. Their relationship with this trophy is nothing short of legendary. Los Blancos were there right at the genesis of the competition in the 1950s, and they didn't just participate, they utterly dominated. Winning the first 5 editions consecutively from 1956 to 1960, they set a standard of excellence that, frankly, no one has quite managed to replicate in terms of sheer initial impact. That early team, featuring iconic names, laid the foundation for a legacy. That incredible side, boasting talents like Alfredo Di Stefano, Ferenc Puskás, and Francisco Gento, played a brand of football that was simply breathtaking for its time. They swept aside all challengers, establishing a mystique around the club and the competition itself. The Santiago Bernabéu became a fortress, a theatre where European dreams were realized for the home side and often crushed for a visiting team. Their early success wasn't just about winning, it was about setting a benchmark for what it meant to be a European champion, a global footballing superpower. Of course, Real Madrid's love affair with the Champions League didn't end in the black and white era. They have experienced further golden periods, ensuring their place at the pinnacle of European football across different generations. The late 1990s and early 2000s saw them lift the trophy 3 times in 5 seasons with memorable finals and iconic goals. Who can forget Zinedine Zidane's incredible volley in Glasgow in 2002? That was a moment of sheer genius, encapsulating the quality Madrid brings to these huge occasions. Then came the era of Cristiano Ronaldo, a period of almost unprecedented dominance in the modern Champions League. 4 titles in 5 years, including 3 consecutively from 2016 to 2018, was a staggering achievement in an era of such intense competition. Players like Sergio Ramos, Luka Modric, and Toni Kroos, alongside Ronaldo, formed the backbone of a team that just knew how to win on the biggest stage. They blended individual brilliance with a steely collective resolve, often finding a way to triumph even when not at their absolute best. With a record number of titles, Real Madrid are without question the undisputed kings of this competition. Their ability to reinvent themselves, to attract the world's best players, and to perform when the pressure is at its most intense is remarkable. The sheer weight of history and expectation at the club seems to drive them forward. Every player who pulls on that famous white shirt knows the standard required, especially on a Champions League night. Their story is intrinsically linked with the story of European glory. Following closely in the footsteps of the early giants, AC Milan carved out their own magnificent history in the European Cup and Champions League. The Rossoneri are a byword for Italian footballing style and success on the continental stage, and they boast a trophy cabinet that reflects their pedigree. Their first triumphs came in the 1960s, with Nerio Rocco at the helm and stars like Gianni Rivera pulling the strings, signalling Italy's arrival as a major force in European club football. They were a team that combined tactical astuteness with moments of individual brilliance. However, it was perhaps the late 1980s and early 1990s that cemented AC Milan's legendary status. Under the guidance of Arrigo Sacchi, they revolutionized football with their high-pressing, cohesive unit featuring the Dutch trio of Ruud Gullit, Marco van Basten and Frank Rijkaard, alongside an imperious Italian defensive backbone including Franco Baresi and Paolo Maldini. They won back-to-back European Cups in 1989 and 1990, playing a brand of football that was both dominant and exhilarating to watch, completely dismantling opponents with their organisation and attacking flair. Fabio Capello then continued that success, guiding Milan to another Champions League title in 1994 with that unforgettable 4-0 demolition of Barcelona's dream team in Athens. That performance was a tactical masterclass, showcasing Milan's ability to adapt and overcome even the most vaunted opposition. It was a testament to their incredible defensive strength, organisation, and ruthless efficiency in front of goal. This era truly solidified Milan's reputation as European royalty, a team that knew how to navigate the unique pressures of this competition. The new millennium brought further glory under Carlo Ancelotti. Milan reached 3 finals in 5 years, winning 2 of them in 2003 and 2007. The 2003 victory against Juventus was an all-Italian affair decided on penalties, while the 2007 triumph over Liverpool in Athens was a sweet revenge for the heartbreak of Istanbul 2 years prior. These victories featured a new generation of Milan legends, including Kaká, Andriy Shevchenko, Andrea Pirlo, and the evergreen Paolo Maldini, who bridged different eras of success. AC Milan's 7 titles placed them second on the all-time list, a remarkable achievement that underscores their consistent ability to build world-class teams. The San Siro has witnessed countless memorable European nights, and the red and black stripes are synonymous with Champions League excellence. Their legacy is one of tactical innovation, legendary players, and an unwavering will to win, making them one of the most respected and feared clubs in the history of European football. Their contribution to the tournament's rich narrative is undeniable. When you think of passion, drama, and unforgettable European nights, Liverpool Football Club immediately springs to mind. Their anthem, "You'll Never Walk Alone," perfectly encapsulates the spirit they bring to the Champions League, a spirit that has seen them conquer Europe on multiple occasions. Their first period of dominance came in the late 1970s and early 1980s, under legendary managers Bill Shankly's successor Bob Paisley and then Joe Fagan. They were a relentless winning machine built on teamwork, incredible attacking talent, and an unwavering belief. The likes of Kenny Dalglish, Graeme Souness, and Ian Rush spearheaded an era where Liverpool won the European Cup 4 times between 1977 and 1984. Anfield became a European fortress, renowned for its incredible atmosphere, which often seemed to give Liverpool an extra edge. Their style of play was dynamic and exciting, and they established themselves as one of the most formidable teams on the continent. These victories were built on a foundation of shrewd management, brilliant scouting, and a core of players who understood what it meant to represent the club. Of course, no discussion of Liverpool in the Champions League would be complete without mentioning the miracle of Istanbul in 2005. Trailing 3-0 at halftime to a star-studded AC Milan side, Liverpool, under Rafa Benitez, produced one of the most astonishing comebacks in football history to draw 3-3 and eventually win on penalties. Led by the inspirational Steven Gerrard, that night defied logic and cemented itself in football folklore. It was a victory that wasn't just about tactics or talent, but about sheer heart, belief, and the refusal to accept defeat. More recently, Jurgen Klopp has masterminded another glorious chapter in Liverpool's European history. He guided them to the final in 2018 and then led them to their 6th European crown in 2019, defeating Tottenham Hotspur in Madrid. Klopp's high-energy, gegenpressing style of football, combined with the attacking prowess of Mohamed Salah, Sadio Mane and Roberto Firmino, and the defensive solidity provided by Virgil van Dijk and Alisson Becker made Liverpool a formidable force once more. The scenes of celebration showed just how much this trophy means to the club and its fans. Liverpool's connection with the Champions League is special. Their triumphs are often imbued with a sense of drama and emotional intensity that few clubs can match. From the glory days of the 70s and 80s to the modern successes under Benitez and Klopp, they have consistently proven their mettle on Europe's biggest stage. The Kop on a European night remains one of the great sights and sounds in world football, a testament to the enduring bond between the club, its supporters, and this prestigious competition. Chapter 4. Bavarian Dominance. Bayern Munich's consistent excellence. Bayern Munich, the German giants, are a byword for consistency and relentless pursuit of excellence in European football. Their record in the Champions League is formidable, marked by periods of sustained dominance and an ability to always be in contention for the continent's top prize. Their first great era arrived in the mid-70s when they won the European Cup 3 times in a row from 1974 to 1976. This was a team built around legends of German football, players who defined an era. That iconic side featured the likes of Franz Beckenbauer, the elegant sweeper known as Der Kaiser, the prolific goal-scorer Gerd Müller, and the brilliant goalkeeper Sepp Maier. They were a dominant force, combining tactical discipline with individual brilliance. Their 3 consecutive triumphs showcased their power and established Bayern as a true European superpower. This period laid the groundwork for the winning mentality that has become ingrained in the club's DNA, an expectation of success that persists to this day. After that initial burst, Bayern had to wait until the new millennium to lift the trophy again, but they remained a consistent threat. They finally reclaimed European glory in 2001, defeating Valencia in a tense penalty shootout. That victory, led by stalwarts like Oliver Kahn, Stefan Effenberg and Jovan Elber, was a testament to their resilience and mental fortitude, exorcising the ghosts of their dramatic late defeat to Manchester United 2 years earlier. It was a hard-fought campaign that underscored their determination. The 2010s brought another golden age for the Bavarians. They reached 3 finals in 4 seasons, culminating in an all-German final victory against Borussia Dortmund at Wembley in 2013 under Jupp Heynckes. That team, featuring stars like Philipp Lahm, Bastian Schweinsteiger, Arjen Robben and Frank Ribery, played an exhilarating brand of football and completed a historic treble. Robben's late winner was a moment of redemption and pure joy for a club that had suffered final heartbreak in 2010 and 2012. Most recently, Bayern conquered Europe again in 2020, completing another treble under Hansi Flick. Their campaign was remarkable for its sheer dominance, including an incredible 8-2 victory over Barcelona. With Robert Lewandowski leading the line in sensational form, they swept all before them, playing with power, pace and precision. Bayern Munich's continued success is built on astute management, a strong core of German talent, and the ability to integrate world-class international stars, ensuring they remain a perennial contender for the Champions League crown. Chapter 5. Tiki-Taka Titans, Barcelona's golden eras. Barcelona, a club synonymous with beautiful football and a distinct playing philosophy, has also carved out a magnificent history in the Champions League. While their first European Cup triumph didn't arrive until 1992, with Johan Cruyff's dream team at Wembley, it was a victory that resonated deeply, built on the Dutch masters' attacking principles. That side, featuring Koeman, Guardiola, Stoichkov and Laudrup, played with a flair and creativity that captivated audiences and laid the philosophical groundwork for future successes. The mid-2000s saw a resurgence under Frank Rijkaard, with Ronaldinho at his mesmerizing best, alongside talents like Samuel Eto'o and a young Lionel Messi beginning to emerge. Barcelona claimed their second Champions League title in 2006, defeating Arsenal in Paris. Ronaldinho's genius illuminated their campaign, and it was clear that something special was brewing at the Camp Nou. This victory signaled a return to the summit of European football and set the stage for an even more dominant period. That period arrived with the appointment of Pep Guardiola, a disciple of Cruyff, in 2008. What followed was arguably one of the greatest eras any club side has ever produced. Guardiola's Barcelona, built around the sublime talents of Messi, Xavi Hernandez, and Andres Iniesta, perfected the tiki-taka style of play, mesmerizing opponents with their intricate passing, movement, and relentless pressing. They won the Champions League in 2009 and 2011, playing a brand of football that was both beautiful to watch and incredibly effective. The 2009 victory, completing a historic treble, saw them overcome Manchester United in Rome. 2 years later, they produced an even more dominant display against the same opponents at Wembley, a performance widely regarded as one of the finest in Champions League final history. Messi was at the peak of his powers, orchestrating play and scoring crucial goals, while Xavi and Iniesta controlled the midfield with unparalleled intelligence and technique. It felt like watching football from another planet at times. Barcelona lifted the trophy for a fifth time in 2015 under Luis Enrique, with the formidable attacking trio of Messi, Luis Suarez and Neymar, the famed MSN, leading the charge. This victory demonstrated their ability to evolve, blending their possession-based game with devastating counter-attacking speed. While they've faced challenges in recent years, Barcelona's impact on the Champions League, particularly during Guardiola's tenure, is undeniable, setting a new standard for attacking football and team cohesion on the grandest European stage. Chapter 6: Total Football's Finest Hour. Ajax's 1970s dynasty Ajax Amsterdam, a club with a profound influence on football tactics and player development, enjoyed a truly golden era in the early 1970s that saw them redefine how the game could be played. Inspired by the revolutionary total football philosophy, championed by coach Rinus Michels and epitomized on the pitch by the legendary Johan Cruyff, Ajax conquered Europe in breathtaking style. They won 3 consecutive European Cups from 1971 to 1973, leaving an indelible mark on the sport's history. Total football was a fluid system where any outfield player could take over the role of any other player in the team. It required immense technical skill, tactical intelligence, and incredible physical fitness. Ajax executed it to perfection. Players like Johan Neeskens, Piet Keizer and Ruud Krol, alongside the incomparable Cruyff, formed a team that was both aesthetically pleasing and devastatingly effective. Their movement, interplay and understanding were on a different level to most of their contemporaries. Their first triumph in 1971 against Panathinaikos at Wembley was a sign of things to come. The following year, they defeated Inter Milan in Rotterdam, with Cruyff scoring both goals in a masterful performance. The 1973 final against Juventus in Belgrade, a 1-0 victory, secured their hat trick of titles and cemented their status as one of the greatest club sides of all time. Their dominance was not just about winning, it was about the way they won, influencing coaches and players for generations to follow. The Ajax Youth Academy, De Toekomst, the future, has long been a production line for world-class talent, and this philosophy of developing technically gifted, intelligent footballers was central to their 1970s success and continues to be their guiding principle. Even after that dominant era, Ajax found success again, most notably in 1995 under Louis van Gaal. That young, vibrant team, featuring future stars like Clarence Seedorf, Edgar Davids, Patrick Kluivert and the De Beer twins, defeated a strong AC Milan side in the final. While the economic realities of modern football have made it harder for clubs from smaller leagues like the Eredivisie to consistently compete for the Champions League, Ajax's legacy endures. Their commitment to attacking football, technical excellence and youth development remains an inspiration. Their 3 consecutive European Cups in the 70s, achieved with such revolutionary style, ensure their place among the true greats of the competition. They showed that a philosophy brilliantly executed could conquer all. Manchester United, is one of the world's most iconic football clubs, with a rich and often dramatic history in the European Cup and Champions League. Their first triumph, way back in 1968, came a decade after the Munich air disaster tragically decimated the Busby Babes. It was an incredibly poignant moment for sure. Sir Matt Busby, who survived the crash, rebuilt the team and led them to victory against Benfica at Wembley. With legends like George Best, Bobby Charlton and Dennis Law, it was a hugely emotional triumph, fulfilling a dream that had seemed lost. Now, the club had to wait quite a while for their next European crown, but when it arrived in 1999, it did so in the most astonishing fashion imaginable. Under Sir Alex Ferguson, Manchester United completed an unprecedented treble Premier League, FA Cup and Champions League. The Champions League final against Bayern Munich at the Camp Nou is well etched in football history. Trailing 1-0 as the game entered injury time, United scored 2 quick-fire goals through Teddy Sheringham and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat. That 1999 team, it was packed with talent and an indomitable spirit, featuring players like Roy Keane, David Beckham, Paul Scholes, Ryan Giggs, Dwight Yorke and Andy Cole. Sir Alex Ferguson had built a side that simply refused to give up, and their never-say-die attitude was never more evident than on that incredible night in Barcelona. It was a defining moment for the club and for Ferguson, cementing his status as one of the greatest managers of all time. The celebrations were, as you can imagine, quite something. Manchester United continued to be a force in Europe under Ferguson, reaching further finals and securing their 3rd European title in 2008. In an all-English final in Moscow, they defeated Chelsea in a dramatic penalty shootout. Cristiano Ronaldo, who scored United's goal in normal time, was the star of that side, supported by Wayne Rooney, Carlos Tevez, Rio Ferdinand and Nemanja Vidic. It was another testament to Ferguson's ability to build and rebuild winning teams over a sustained period. While success in the Champions League has been more elusive for Manchester United in recent years, their legacy in the competition is secure. From the emotional triumph of 1968 to the unbelievable drama of 1999 and the hard-fought victory of 2008, Old Trafford has been the stage for many unforgettable European nights. The expectation of competing at the highest level remains deeply ingrained in the fabric of the club, a testament to their storied past in Europe's premier tournament. Chapter 8. Inter Milan, or Internazionale, are another Italian giant with a proud and significant history in the European Cup and Champions League. Their first major successes came in the mid-1960s, under the legendary coach Helenio Herrera. This era, known as La Grande Inter, saw them win back-to-back European Cups in 1964 and 1965. Herrera's side was famed for its defensive solidity, employing the Catenaccio system with devastating effectiveness, but also possessing potent attacking threats. Players like Sandro Mazzola, Giacinto Facchetti, Luis Suarez, the Spanish midfielder, and Armando Pichi were central to this dominant Inter team. They defeated Real Madrid in the 1964 final, and then Benfica a year later, establishing themselves as the team to beat in Europe. Herrera was a master tactician and motivator, and his Inter side was incredibly difficult to break down, grinding out results with ruthless efficiency. These victories brought immense pride to the Nerazzurri faithful and put Inter firmly on the European football map. After that golden period, Inter endured a long wait to reclaim Europe's biggest prize. They reached the final in 1967 and 1972, but fell short. It wasn't until 2010 that they would once again stand at the pinnacle of European football, this time under the charismatic leadership of Jose Mourinho. That season was truly remarkable, as Inter completed an unprecedented Italian treble Serie A, Coppa Italia, and the Champions League. Mourinho crafted a team that was tactically astute, mentally strong, and packed with warriors. The 2010 Champions League campaign saw Inter overcome formidable opponents, including a memorable semi-final victory over Pep Guardiola's Barcelona, a tactical masterclass in defensive organisation and counter-attacking threat. In the final, held at the Santiago Bernabéu in Madrid, 2 goals from Diego Milito secured a 2-0 victory over Bayern Munich. Players like Wesley Sneijder, Samuel Eto'o, Javier Zanetti and Esteban Cambiaso were instrumental in this historic triumph, executing Mourinho's game plans to perfection. Inter Milan's 3 Champions League titles highlight their ability to build formidable teams capable of conquering Europe. The San Siro, which they share with their city rivals AC Milan, has been the backdrop for many famous Nerazzurri European nights. Their victories, particularly the contrasting styles of Herrera's Grande Inter and Mourinho's treble winners, showcase different paths to glory. But both were built on strong organization, tactical intelligence, and a core of world-class players dedicated to the cause. Chapter 9. Juventus, affectionately known as the Old Lady, are the most successful club in Italian domestic football history, and they also boast a significant, albeit sometimes bittersweet, record in the Champions League. They have lifted the famous trophy twice, but have also experienced the heartbreak of finishing as runners-up on more occasions than any other club. This reflects their consistent ability to reach the latter stages of the competition, a testament to their enduring quality and presence at Europe's top table. Their first European Cup triumph came in 1985, a victory tragically overshadowed by the Heysel Stadium disaster before the match against Liverpool. On the pitch, a penalty scored by Michel Platini secured the win for Juventus. That team featured many stars of Italian and world football, but the circumstances surrounding the final inevitably cast a long shadow. It was a difficult moment for football, and one that is remembered for far more than just the result itself. Juventus had to wait over a decade for their next and, to date, last Champions League title, which arrived in 1996. Under the management of Marcello Lippi, a star-studded Juventus side defeated Ajax in the final in Rome, winning a dramatic penalty shootout. This team included luminaries such as Alessandro Del Piero, Gianluca Vialli, Fabrizio Ravagnelli, Didier Deschamps, and a young Zinedine Zidane, who would soon become a global superstar. They were a powerful, well-drilled unit that blended Italian tactical discipline with attacking flair. Following that 1996 victory, Juventus reached the final in the next two seasons, 1997 and 1998, and again in 2003, 2015, and 2017, unfortunately losing on each occasion. This incredible run of final appearances, even without adding more trophies, demonstrates their remarkable consistency in building teams capable of challenging for Europe's elite prize. Players like Del Piero, Buffon, Nedved, and Chiellini have all graced these finals, embodying the Juventus spirit of determination and quality. Despite the numerous final defeats, Juventus's pedigree in the Champions League is undeniable. Their ability to consistently produce strong teams, dominate Italian football, and translate that into deep European runs is a hallmark of the club. The black and white stripes are instantly recognizable and respected across the continent. The desire to add to their two Champions League titles remains a burning ambition for the club and its passionate fan base, ensuring they will continue to be a force to be reckoned with in the years to come. Chapter 10. Chelsea Football Club's rise to become a European powerhouse is a more recent story compared to some of the traditional giants, but their impact on the Champions League in the 21st century has been significant. Fueled by ambition and investment, the Blues transformed into perennial contenders, culminating in two memorable Champions League triumphs that were packed with drama and resilience. Their journey to the top of European football has been a thrilling one for their supporters. Their first Champions League final appearance came in 2008, an all-English affair against Manchester United in Moscow. Despite a hard-fought match that went to penalties, Chelsea narrowly missed out. However, this experience seemed to galvanise the club, strengthening their resolve to reach the summit. The desire to lift that coveted trophy became an obsession for the players, the club, and owner Roman Abramovich, who had made European glory a primary objective since taking over. That dream was finally realised in 2012, in the most dramatic of circumstances. Against Bayern Munich in Bayern's own Allianz Arena, Chelsea, managed by interim coach Roberto Di Matteo, produced an astonishing performance. Trailing late in the game, Didier Drogba scored a powerful header to force extra time. Then, with penalties looming, Drogba stepped up to score the winning spot kick, etching his name into Chelsea folklore forever. It was a victory built on incredible spirit, defensive resilience, and moments of individual brilliance. That 2012 team featured club legends like Frank Lampard, John Terry, though suspended for the final, Peter Cech, and of course, Drogba. Their run to the final included a remarkable semi-final comeback against Barcelona. It was a campaign that defied expectations and proved that determination and belief can overcome even the toughest odds. The celebrations in London were immense as Chelsea finally joined the elite group of Champions League winners. Chelsea tasted Champions League glory for a second time in 2021. Under Thomas Tuchel, who had taken over midway through the season, they navigated a challenging path to the final in Porto, where they faced Premier League rivals Manchester City. A solitary goal from Kai Havertz was enough to secure a deserved 1-0 victory. This triumph showcased a different Chelsea, tactically astute, defensively solid and clinical when it mattered. It cemented their status as a modern European force capable of competing with and beating the very best. And there we have it. That's our list of all the Champions League winners. Well, a look at 10 of the most prominent and successful clubs to have lifted that iconic trophy. From the early dominance of Real Madrid to the modern-day triumphs of teams like Chelsea and Manchester City, the Champions League has consistently delivered incredible football, unforgettable drama, and legendary players. Each winning team has its own unique story, its own heroes, and its own special place in the rich history of this magnificent competition. The beauty of the Champions League is its ever-evolving narrative. Dynasties rise and fall, new challenges emerge, and the tactical landscape of football is constantly shifting. It's a tournament that demands excellence, resilience, and often that little bit of magic on the biggest nights. The quest for European glory drives clubs, players and fans alike, creating an unparalleled spectacle year after year. It truly is the pinnacle of club football, a stage where legends are made. So, the big question is, who's next? Which team do you think will lift the trophy next? Let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear your predictions and your favourite Champions League memories. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more football content. Thank you for joining me, Rohan Michael, on this journey through Champions League history. Until next time, keep enjoying the beautiful game.